Hi everybody, welcome to another video. This week I thought we would do the last sketchbook tour of 2024. I actually finished this sketchbook a few months ago, but just never got around to doing a tour of it, so I figured why not this week. If you're curious, this is the handbook journal. I actually did a review of this sketchbook and I'll link to that video up here somewhere so you guys can check it out. And my primary use for this sketchbook was to just work on my watercolor skills and my color mixing. So that was basically what I did in this sketchbook. And this actually took me a while to finish. You'll see here that I actually started it last July, but I didn't finish it until this October. And that's because I was working in multiple sketchbooks, not just this one. So yeah, let's walk through it. So this is my first sketch. I just wanted to do a simple landscape of just this barn in the middle of this open field. I used a photo reference for this, and I actually thought this came out pretty good. This next drawing is also a photo reference, and I believe it's from a city in Japan. I don't remember which city, but I know that I saw the photo online and just like the way that you had like these big skyscrapers in the scene along with like this giant intersection. I just really liked it, so I did a quick sketch of that, and I didn't watercolor that one. Here's another landscape that I did of an older building, again in kind of a more empty field, just surrounded by a few trees. I really liked it mainly because these branches that just come from seemingly nowhere, I just thought it kind of framed everything really nicely. Ooh, this is one that I really enjoyed. I'm a big fan of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and one day I was actually watching the movie from, I think it was 1990, the live action movie, and I decided to draw the movie poster for it with the turtles coming out of the sewer. I really like the way this one came out. The only thing is like the eyes came out a little wonky, but other than that, it's pretty good. I started working on like my shadows and tones here, so I really had fun with this one. This is just our dog Leslie laying on the new rug that we got in the living room. She seemed to think it was quite comfortable. This was a quick sketch that I did of a dinner that my wife had made one night. We had cornbread and chili that night. I just did a quick drawing of that. I think actually while I was waiting for the chili to cool off. This is a sketch that I did of a butterfly. My wife and I had gone for a walk on a trail not too far away from where we live. I saw this butterfly. I thought, why not draw it and then paint it? I know butterflies usually have like a lot of different colors and very vibrant colors, so I thought it'd be a good little challenge to do that. And this actually came out pretty good too. This is just a analog selfie. Here is a cookie jar that my wife bought in the shape of a mushroom. I drew this because the way it was sitting on the counter at the time, I just liked the way it was framed between our napkin holder and a water bottle that we just had there. So I thought I could draw and paint it, and this actually came out pretty good too. Again, I started working on some shadows there and things. This is another quick sketch that I did of the first time my wife and I tried to make sushi at home, and the sushi came out okay. I mean, we're not going to open our own sushi restaurant anytime soon, but it came out pretty good. I was proud of the way it came out, and the drawing came out pretty good too. This is just a picture of a sleeping kitten that I found online that I thought looked kind of cute, so I drew that relatively quickly. I used I believe I used some marker for some of the stripes, but the rest of it is watercolor. Oh, and here is a sketch that I did of elephants. Elephants are some of my favorite animals, and I had gotten new ink. It was Lamy ink, and I didn't realize that the ink wasn't waterproof. So as soon as I went to go wet the paper to start painting, I noticed that the ink started to bleed. But I went with it and kind of used it to do like a ink wash sort of, and the gray in it is actually watercolor, but the fuzzy looking blue is actually me trying to do an ink wash. And even though it looks kind of fuzzy, I actually kind of like the way it came out. I think it looks pretty interesting. This is just another photo reference that I used. I like the road kind of converging at the horizon, and the dark shadows of the trees and the side of the road contrasted against the orange gold sunsetting sky. I just thought it was a really cool picture, so I drew that. This is just a lifeguard stand at the beach. I just did a quick sketch there. I believe this was also a photo reference that I used, and I just thought it was a nice simple scene, so I just wanted to sketch it. This one came out pretty good too. This was another simple scene that I found as a photo reference, and it's of this couple just sitting against a stone wall. And I liked it because it was a black and white photo, so I like the contrast and the different values there, just the black and the white. So I did it primarily as an ink wash, and I used a little bit of marker in some of the darker areas. But that was a really fun one too. That was when I really started to kind of experiment with ink washes a little bit more. This is just a quick little sketch that I did. I remember I had a particularly rough, busy day the day that I did this, so I just wanted to draw something nice and quick, and this was it. This is just a flower coming out of the bushes that we have by our apartment. So it's just a nice quick little drawing. This is a drawing of my family's dog, Sassy. She comes to visit every now and again, and she really enjoys looking out off our balcony. She likes looking at all the people walking by. She's a people watcher for sure. But I really like this one. I like the different buildings and the different tones and shadows of the balcony railings and things like that. This one, I really enjoyed doing this one. Oh, this, if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll recognize this. This is actually a tutorial video that I did on how to draw waves and oceans just using hatching lines. And this was actually super fun. I actually, to this day, still draw my water and waves this way. I like the way that it looks with the hatching lines. It's very simple, gets the message across. I really enjoy it. And you can actually see it here. I used a photo reference for this lighthouse, but you can see I did the hatching marks there for the ocean and even in the sky, and just to indicate the clouds. And this is a really good one too. I enjoyed this one. I like the shadow of the lighthouse there and the different values of the blue in the ocean. So I was primarily working on my watercolors. I mean, I still have a ways to go, but I definitely made some improvements, and this sketchbook was a huge part of that. Here's a bird that I drew. I found online. It's a red crest Brazilian cardinal. I struggle with birds primarily because I'm not too good at the drawing the textures of feathers. So I try to practice it every now and again, and this one didn't come out too bad. The wings are a little wonky, but other than that, I like that one. This is a picture that I did of my wife just relaxing on the new couch that we had gotten last year. Here is just a lizard that, again, this is another photo reference, just a lizard walking up a tree. Again, I like the color of the lizard, and I also haven't drawn too many reptiles, so I figured why not practice. This is a picture of, there was a day last summer my wife and I had made Arnold Palmer's, and the container was just sitting on the counter, so I just did a quick sketch of it with some of the unused lemons that we left on there, and got some of the kitchen in the background there. There's our fridge and some counter space back there. Oh, this is another drawing of Sassy. She has a tendency to lick her paws, and when she does that, we try to put these little socks that we have on her paws to prevent her from doing that. She usually takes them off as soon as we get them on, but she does not like wearing them, so that's kind of why she's got a little bit of a sour expression. These are a pair of rollerblades that I actually bought last year. I'd been watching a few videos on YouTube of rollerbladers and things, and I used to rollerblade when I was younger, so I thought, you know what, I think it's time to pick that back up. Got a pair of rollerblades. I actually haven't rollerbladed too much this year, but every now and again I'll go for a little roll. Oh, this is a building that my wife and I walked by when we were in Philadelphia, and I did a quick sketch of it. I actually took a picture of it so that I could watercolor it later, but I did a quick sketch of it because it's like this old brick building, and so I like the color of the brick, and I also like the sign, like the text that the sign was in. So I did a quick sketch of that, and then I took a picture, and I actually watercolored this later that night. This is a drawing of a koala that, again, I came across online and I didn't realize koalas slept this way in trees. So when I saw the picture, I was inspired, and I just did a quick little drawing and watercolor of that. This is a drawing of me rollerblading. This is kind of from memory. I didn't really take a picture of myself rollerblading, so I did the best that I could. Oh, this is another drawing that, again, if you've been following my channel, you'd probably recognize. I actually did this, I did a video of this drawing, and it's just a little car in front of a garage. I really had fun with this one. I like the different, again, the different tones of this like teal color in here. I was working a little bit on the shadow, and yeah, this was a fun one to paint as well. Oh, this is actually my art cart. It's just a utility cart that I found at IKEA one day and thought that I could use it to organize my art supplies. I've actually been thinking about doing a video where I kind of give you a tour of my art cart and show you how I have everything organized. If that's something you're interested in, leave a comment down below, let me know. But that's something I've been thinking about doing. This is just a drawing of kind of this city on a hill. I just wanted to practice using a dip pen, so I thought I would draw like some architecture and buildings and things. So found this picture, and this actually didn't come out too bad. The crowd kind of looks a little weird, but the buildings themselves look pretty good. Here's another example of a bird. This is a parrot. Again, I used a photo reference for this, but with this one I tried out just random marks for the texture of feathers, and I actually really like the way it came out. It doesn't look too forced. It doesn't look very awkward. I think it gives the texture of kind of like ruffled looking feathers, so I really enjoyed that. I like the way that texture came out. This came out not at all like I had hoped. This was actually a tutorial I was trying to follow along on YouTube, and it was supposed to be how to draw kind of like a rainy, wet, damp scene. And I think I just used too much water, and it did not go as planned, but what are you gonna do? I still learned from it. I still think it kind of looks okay. I mean, it's not the worst thing, but definitely was hoping that would have turned out a lot better. This is just a fall scene that I drew. I really enjoy the colors of fall, like the oranges and reds and things. So I just wanted to draw a fall scene. I just found this photo online. And this is actually an interesting building that my wife and I walked by, I believe also while we were in Philadelphia in like one of the neighborhoods. I just thought it looked really cool with like the wooden boards, as well as having like some brick on it too. I just thought it was an interesting looking building, so I did a quick sketch and watercolor that. This is a day that my wife and I had gone to New York City, and this was our view of the Brooklyn Bridge with Manhattan in the background. I thought it was a pretty cool scene, so I just did a quick drawing of that. And speaking of, this is my wife laying down sick because the night before she had a little too much to drink, and our dog Sassy's keeping her company there. But this one was pretty cool too because we had like all these clothes laying around, so I also worked on kind of like my folds and like the texture of the clothing. Oh, this is another building that we had come across, I believe actually I think this one was in New York, and it was just this bookstore, again in like this older brick building with like the nice big glass window with all the books in the display. And I did a quick drawing of that, and I believe this is another one that I took a picture of and watercolored later on. There's my wife and our dog Leslie napping on the couch again. They enjoy napping. Again, I'm practicing kind of my folds here and the shadows. This is another photo reference of a building that I came across online, and what caught my attention about this building was its color. It was kind of like this pink salmon color, which I had never really seen for a building before, so I thought it was pretty cool. and I drew it again using that Lamy ink, which is why you kind of see some of the ink bleeding there. And again, I tried just using that to add some tone and value to the drawing. I think it kind of worked out, but definitely could have been a little bit better. But I don't hate that drawing. I think the colors are really what drew me to it. This was a drawing that I did of my breakfast one morning. We actually ran out of flour and I was trying to make waffles, so I used oats instead. And don't do that. Just pro tip, don't do that, because this is what the waffles should have looked like, but they ended up just being crunchy oatmeal. It was still good, don't get me wrong, I still ate it, it didn't go to waste, but it just did not come out as waffles. This is just our old router. I was looking at it one day, it just looked really intense with like the 4 antennas and stuff. It kind of looked like some sort of robot or something, so I just did a quick sketch of that. This is a container of strawberries that we got from the grocery store. I haven't really drawn a lot of like plastic containers, so I kind of wanted to work on that, especially getting like kind of that color right to show that, you know, it's like a plastic material. And then I also focused in on this one strawberry that was just like huge. It was just this monster strawberry in the middle of all these like regular size strawberries. And so I just decided to draw that. This is a dartboard that my wife bought for our apartment, and I actually drew this because this was the first day that I got a bullseye in our dartboard, so I had to document the occasion, and I did it in my sketchbook. Here's another drawing of my wife and our dog Leslie asleep on the couch. Here's another bird where I was trying to work on feathers. This one I tried more of like a dry brush technique for the feathers, which I think also kind of works. What I really enjoyed about drawing this was, I guess, this section of feathers across the bird's like throat, neck area is just like, it was just a bunch of like these vibrant colors. And I think this was also a mix of like marker and watercolor that I was trying to do. But that was a fun one to draw as well. And here is a drawing of a fox. I had actually seen a fox that day, but didn't have my sketchbook with me when I saw the fox. So when I got back, I was inspired. I just looked up a photo reference of a fox, and that was the result. And actually, I like the way that one came out too. I like the colors. I like the gray, and the gray and the orange mixed in there. This is another photo reference that I was using. I chose this one because I like the way it was framed, just like this truck surrounded by like all of these trees and greenery. I just thought it made for a nice little composition, so I did a quick sketch of that. These are just some plants that we have in our apartment. I thought the way the light was hitting them made them look particularly green and full of life, so I did a quick sketch of that and a quick little watercolor. This is a drawing of the Ohuhu acrylic markers that I had gotten over the summer. I didn't have my watercolors with me, so this was just an ink wash that I did, showing the markers in their little case. But this is a fun one. Actually, I really started enjoying ink washes, and again, that started with this sketchbook. I started playing around with them a lot. Here is a fig from my parents' fig tree. They started coming again. This is in the summer. They started popping up, and they hadn't gotten ripe enough yet to eat, but there was one that I found on like the top branch that I picked and cut open, and that was the drawing that I did before I ate it. That actually came out pretty good. I like the way that looks. This is another drawing from a photo reference of, I just found like this older gentleman petting this stray cat, and I just like the composition. I just like the older man there with the cat coming along expecting his pets. I just enjoyed it. Here's another kind of, well, a few little practice sketches of birds and feathers and things. I just did a pigeon, a bird flying, bringing some materials back to make a nest with, a few owls. There's an attempt at an eagle and a little duckling. This is where I really started to like kind of simplify birds, and I think this is how I've been drawing birds since, just more simpler. Like I haven't really been too worried about the feathers. I've just kind of been making these little marks to suggest them, and it's been working for me. If you struggle with feathers, give that a shot because it helped me a lot. This is actually a drawing of some turnovers that my wife had made. I initially had started drawing just with watercolor, but I wasn't liking the way that this was coming out, so that I did like the ink drawing first, then I watercolored it, and I'm glad I did because this came out way better. So I'm glad I did. This is another familiar page for those of you who have been watching the channel. This is actually a tutorial that I did a couple months ago about how to draw folds in fabrics. So there's that. This is actually super fun too. I did this one in pencil just because I thought it'd be a lot easier to kind of show the detail of the shadows and things. But yeah, so there's that. These are a couple more analog selfies. I just did a couple different, I was trying to draw myself in a couple different ways. And then finally, I think, yeah, so this is the last page I was actually on the couch one night before bed, and I was just watching a couple of YouTube videos, and one of the videos I watched was of the Vlog Brothers. For those of you who are familiar, that's Hank Green. I was watching one of his videos. And then this is another video I was watching about how to draw clouds, and it was like a different way to draw clouds, because normally, like I showed before, I usually do like the hatching lines to illustrate the sky and clouds and things. But I found this other video that I tried, and I mean, it's okay, but I think I'm gonna stick to the hatching marks that I've been using. They've been working for me, and yeah, and that's it. So that is the last sketchbook tour of 2024. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe to the channel. It all helps me. I appreciate the support that I've gotten so far. You guys have been great. Please continue to support the channel. I'd really like to see it grow. And let me know what you thought of the video. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.